Hey everyone, it's a girl Shauna J. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I so appreciate you being here. So today I'm going to do a video that I've always wanted to do, but I always manage to talk myself out of it or just always put it off for some reason. But today I have time and today we're going to get it done. I'm going to show you guys some fragrances that I initially hated. I swore that I would never wear these fragrances. I just did not understand how other people even liked them. Some of them are really going to surprise you because some of them are like my for life fragrances. It just shows me that you just have to be open-minded when it comes on to fragrances. So let's jump into the very first fragrance. So the very first fragrance that I'm gonna start out with is from the house of Juicy Couture, and this is the original Juicy Couture fragrance. Now, the first time I tried this one was kind of later in the game, so I had already experienced fragrances like Viva La Juicy and all the other flankers that followed. So when I tried this one, I was expecting the same vibe from this fragrance, and I think it was kind of like the shock of it all. It was so completely different from all the other Juicy Couture fragrances. This is a very floral fragrance. It's very mature smelling. So the dominant note that we have here is tuberose, and the tuberose note is like so unapologetic. It's so bold. It's so in your face. It does have like a lot of fruity notes in here. For example, we have watermelon in here, and I definitely detect the watermelon, but it's still a very heady tuberose scent. You just cannot deny that. We also have caramel, we have creme brulee, so there's some slight gourmand nuances going on here, but it's still a very floral scent, okay? But at first I did not like it. I felt like it was a little bit too mature. I was just like, this is not my vibe, so I vowed to never ever add this one to my collection. Why I decided to try this one was because there's this girl, I hope I don't butcher her name. Her name is Jasmine. I'm not even going to try to say her name. I'm probably going to put like a little picture. The way she described this fragrance, it literally made me rethink what I thought about the fragrance. I'm just so glad that she gave her perspective on the fragrance, and I totally see it the way that she sees it. So I'm pretty happy about that. So yeah, this was actually a hate at first sniff, but now it's a full-blown love. It's so good. I can't believe I did not like this fragrance. It's really, really good. So this is the original Juicy Couture fragrance. Okay, so another fragrance that I truly disliked when I first tried it is Rogue by Rihanna. When she came out with this fragrance, I was like super excited, ran to Macy's, and when I tried it, I was like, gross. So for years, I kind of just avoided this one because I was like, it's way too masculine for me. Back then, I used to be into super fruity, girly fragrances. So this one was just not fitting the bill for me. But years later, saw this one, I think in TJ Maxx, very good price, and I decided to retry it. And let me tell you, I wore this on like a cool fall day. I was wearing like a leather jacket and I was wearing all black. I just basically created the perfect ambiance to wear this fragrance. It literally blew my mind how much I like this one. When I hear people saying that they don't like it, I'm like, girl, try it again. I find it very intoxicating. It just smells so good. Like, this is plum. We have some florals in here. We have suede. We have vanilla. It's just ultra sexy. The muskiness drives me crazy. Beautiful fragrance. I just love it. A perfect fall fragrance right here. This is Rogue by Rihanna. The next fragrance that I have here is from the house of Versace, and this one is called Crystal Noir. When I heard that Versace had released this fragrance, I ran to Sephora to test it out, and of course I was disappointed because this was totally not my type of scent at all. I remember spritzing it on my wrist and thought, definitely not my vibe. Back then I was wearing fragrances like Bright Crystal and Yellow Diamond, you know, fresh, citrusy, girly. That's the kind of vibe that I was on when this fragrance came out. But a couple of years later, I'm not even sure how I got to try this one again or what made me try this one again. But I was like, girl, you've been missing out. This is like grown woman vibes. What I love about this fragrance is that it is very clean, almost to the point of being soapy. I thought for sure we had coconut in this fragrance because I swear to God, I smell coconut here. Super mysterious, creamy, a little soapy, intoxicating. This fragrance is now a love. I love this fragrance. Yes, this is Crystal Noir by Versace. So a lot of you guys are probably gonna be surprised to see this one on this list because it's one of my favorites and I can't shut up about it. You can afford this part, in all honesty, because at this point it's kind of crazy how much I talk about this fragrance. Okay, this fragrance right here, this is Classique. This is the Eau de Toilette. I literally hated this scent. I put it in the back of my closet because I was like, I'm never gonna wear this fragrance again. I just did not even make the mistake of spraying it out because I didn't want to smell it until I did a declutter video and someone in my comments was like, girl, try it again. And I decided to try it again. That time when I decided to retry it, I had taken a shower, I was going to bed, and I spritzed it on, and when I woke up in the morning I was like, what the frick? I'm like, what did I put on last night? I opened up my closet door. It was unbelievable. I loved it so much. I talk about this fragrance all the time, but I know there are so many of you guys that are new to my channel that have no idea that I have an obsession with this fragrance. So I'm gonna repeat myself one more time, okay? This fragrance is dominated by orange blossom, which gives it like a big soapy type scent. That we have a sweet, warm oriental note. We also have ginger that gives it a little fizziness. There's a 90s vibe to this one, so I like to put that out there because I know some of you guys hear me talking about this fragrance and you want to try it, but I have to state that fact, okay? There's a 90s vibe to this one, and the vanilla here is oriental, so it does feel very womanly. It's a very mature scent, okay? It's very bold, it's in your face, which is probably why I didn't like it. When I'm wearing this fragrance, I wear it when I'm gonna wear a little bit of clothes, you know, like today, for example, I will put it on my skin and just leave it there, or just put 2 spritz on my shirt and just get little wafts, you know. It's a fragrance that needs to waft around you. You don't want to smell it constantly. I know a lot of you girls are probably thinking like, girl, that's just too much work, too much to think about, but trust me, it's worth it. This is Classique and this is the Eau de Toilette. So another fragrance that I wouldn't say I hated it, but I definitely did not like it the first time I encountered it. I actually thought twice about adding this one because, like I said, I never hated this fragrance, but I never loved it either, and I thought I was never gonna ever wear it again. And it's L'Eau de Issey by Issey Miyake. I told you guys you were gonna see some loves on this list. If you follow my channel, you know I love this fragrance to death. This is my signature. Been through bottles of this fragrance, and I wear the hell out of this fragrance. And when I say that, I mean I smell good in this fragrance. So there's something about this fragrance that goes well with my body chemistry for whatever reason, and I thank God. This is a floral aquatic scent. It's very clean and fresh. We have lotus in here, we have melon, so it's aquatic, but there's a slight fruity touch, and we have some cold white florals in here. It's musky, a little green. It's very complex, but at the same time, it's very simple, very tranquil. It doesn't do too much, but it does a lot. You know, it's that kind of fragrance. I know I mentioned it a couple of times, but for those of you guys who didn't hear the story, I was actually introduced to this fragrance by an ex a couple of years ago, and apparently he liked it so much that he bought it for me. But midway through the fragrance, I stopped wearing it because I felt like it just was not for me. I was like into Victoria's Secret fruity fragrances, so this was too mature for me. One day I was walking through Macy's and a sales associate asked me if she could spray it on me, and I was like, okay, fine, go ahead. And I was leaving the mall. As soon as I opened up the door, the breeze kind of hit my neck, or it kind of hit the scent and walked it up to my nose. I made a U-turn, went right back to that counter. I said, I want the full set, I want everything. And I've been wearing this fragrance ever since. That was at least 10 years ago. So yes, this is a fragrance that I didn't really like at first. I only wore it out of obligation because it was a gift, and now look at me, totally head over heels about this fragrance. Next fragrance that I have here is by Prada, and this one is called Prada Candy Night. Now, like a lot of people, I was not a fan of this scent. I remember going into Sephora and trying this one. I just did not like it at all. I don't know what I didn't really like about it, but I kind of felt like I just didn't care for the scent. I didn't like it and had no intention on ever buying this fragrance at all. Months later, went into Ulta, sprayed a little bit on my pinky because by then I kind of knew I didn't like the fragrance. So I sprayed a little bit on my pinky so I could test it out to see if I still had the same opinion on the scent. I mean, the little bit that I sprayed on my pinky was driving me absolutely crazy, and that's when I made the decision. I was like, girl, you need a bottle, just buy the bottle. And it's been love ever since. I really love this fragrance, but I do understand why a lot of people may not. There's something a bit cloying about this one. This does remind me a little bit of the original Prada Candy fragrance, but in this fragrance we have a chocolate note. The chocolate here is not like chewy chocolate or melty chocolate. It's more of a dry chocolate, and we do have iris in here. It sounds like it wouldn't work, but it definitely does. This was in fact a fragrance that I did not like at first, but on second try I was like, definitely full bottle worthy. Oh, it's so sexy, it's so seductive, it's so unique. I love this fragrance. So this is Prada Candy Night. A lot of you guys will not be surprised to see this one on this list. This is Amethyst from the house of Lalique. So a lot of you guys know that in the beginning I struggled with this fragrance. There were certain things about the fragrance that I just could not grasp. Like, I couldn't understand what was going on. For those of you guys who have never smelled this fragrance, it's basically, I have that reaction every single time I smell this fragrance. Basically, this opens up very fruity. The fruits in here are definitely dark, they're sweet, they're overripe, okay? And under that we have some muskiness and some powderness, and also I do get a shampoo vibe from this one, believe it or not, which I absolutely love. It's a very complex scent, and it's not gonna be for everyone. At first I was just like, gosh, like who the hell could like this fragrance? But I tried it a couple of times and I was like, there's just something about this fragrance that I find it totally addictive. Oh, it smells so good. So yeah, this fragrance was totally a hell no for me at first, but now I find it beautiful. It's a very eccentric fragrance. You're not gonna smell a fragrance like this every day, and I think some people get stuck there, but I think once you're able to bypass that, you'll love this fragrance. Oh, it smells so good. Okay guys, so that completes today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I surely enjoyed doing this. I'm mad that I put it off for so long. Let me know if you guys have any fragrance in your collection that you totally hated at first and now you absolutely love it. Anyway guys, that's it for me. See y'all in the next upload. Bye.